Shaq gave a lineup of based exclusively on 90s MVPs. So he tried to fill out point guard through center using just MVPs from the 90s and did the same thing in the 2000s, first decade of the 2000s. So
Wait,
2000
Max,
to 2010.
did you say tried to fill it out?
Well, in other words, like not so there was no real small forward who won an MVP in the 90s. So I guess you could call Barkley a small forward. He's really a power forward. He scored like a small forward a lot of the time.
Well,
but he didn't defend the small forwards.
He played powerful like a
power
forward,
forward.
but he's a small forward based on size.
Right, but yes, he was. The description would be he's a shorter forward. But technically, he was a power forward. I guess it's hard to say because he did have a perimeter game too, but he didn't defend the three, right? So not usually.
Well,
so
nobody was shooting the three, really.
No, I'm saying defend the small forward.
Oh, the three. Oh, okay.
Right. He was a little bulky for that position. So Shaq has Magic at point, Jordan at the 2, Chuck playing the small forward position, Karl Malone at the 4, and Hakeem playing 5, playing the center. In the 2000s, he has Allen Iverson at the point guard, Kobe at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Duncan power forward, Shaq playing center. He says that his team, meaning the 2000s, wins 4-2. I think I agree that the 2000s team wins because structurally, like if Scottie Pippen had won an MVP and you take Barkley out and put Pippen in, so now you got another great defender, a little more of a perimeter game. Maybe I like the 90s at that point, but just the way the teams are put together, I think the 2000s are a more balanced team.
Oh man, this is a tough one because I start to look at. Okay, so you'll tell me LeBron will be. So on the 2000s, you got 3 ball dominant guys, right? Mm-hmm. You got Kobe, you got LeBron, and you got AI. They got to touch the ball. But also, the Diesel got to touch it, and then Tim Duncan's got to touch it. Are those 3, one of those 3 or 2 of those 3 willing to give up the ball?
Yeah, LeBron plays point.
But that's what I knew you were going to say.
AI plays the 2, and Kobe's at the 3 there, I think.
Yeah, but when
you have certain matchup issues, but.
Yeah, but okay, so you say, well, Magic doesn't like to defend, or he wasn't defending, or whatever you want to call it.
He wasn't a great defender, right?
But back in that day, did you need to defend like that? Was it all about the defense, other than Detroit Pistons and maybe another team or two?
And then and if you put those guys, if you put the 90s guys, the closer you get to today, the better the shooting would have gotten. So if you took MJ or Magic and dropped them into today's game, they would have grown up shooting the 3. They'd be better 3-point shooters, right? I get it. It's Darwinian, actually.
Jordan got better and pulled the trigger as he got older.
By the way, so did Magic. Magic got to be a much better shooter as he got older. But players who succeed have the qualities to succeed in that era, right? I mean, they're adapted to their own eras. I'll tell you what, though.
In 2000,
I don't know if I would have put that 2000s team together like that. If I'm trying to win a game, even though AI is a great player, I could use LeBron at the point and get some more shooting in there.
But he couldn't play the point because he's not listed as a point guard.
So what? He's a point guard.
No, but that's not what Shaq's doing.
Yes, he is, because he's playing Barkley at the 3. He's just putting together the team.
But Barkley is in the category of forward. Whether it's power,
I might figure out a way to get Nowitzki in the 2000s for the shooting.
You can't do that, though.
Why not?
Because then you can say, well, I would put a guy on here who didn't get the MVP.
No. It's MVPs. Make a team of MVPs.
No, but if you're trying to figure out if your gripe is small versus power with Barkley, I'm just saying somebody could very easily say, well, put in Scottie Pippen.
Okay, but now I'm saying, but now let's just keep it. You're making as far as I know, this is just MVP team from the 90s versus MVP team, however you want to put it together, but it has to be an MVP from 2000s.
Yes.
I'll tell you this. Can I tell you this? The reason he didn't do the 2010s, it would be a no contest. You know what the 2010 team would be?
Say it slow, Max, please.
This is insane.
Because, man.
Steph at the point, Harden at the 2, KD at the 3, LeBron at the 4, Giannis at the 5.
Good fight, good night.
It's a wrap. No one's beating that team. They're too big. They shoot too well. It's a you're not beating that team. You're not beating that team.
But what if you took that team that you just described and you took 5 people off this 10 team, of these 10 people right here? If you took 5 off of the 10 list that Shaq put together against the
you're going to win. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're going to win for sure. Because you got Jordan and LeBron on the same team. Plus, it's too much. But
LeBron versus LeBron, you got LeBron on the 2010 team, so you cancel that one, right?
But now I got MJ. I got my pick of Shaq or Duncan or Hakeem at the 5. It's too much.
That might be a better way of looking at it if you wanted to do that era of, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, era of MVPs.
I'm looking at the 2000s. I want more shooting on that team. I want to find out a way to put Dirk on that team. Yeah, but Dirk Nowitzki was 7 feet tall and could shoot the lights out.
So why is he not on it?
Because who do you drop? Do you see? Maybe you take out Iverson, you put LeBron at the 1.
But you can't do that because he's the small forward, Max.
Who? No, he's the point guard.
No, in this illustration,
he brings the ball up. He starts your offense.
Doesn't matter.
He can defend the point guard if he wants to.
Doesn't matter. In the Diesel and Shaq in Big's illustration of this, he has him as a small forward.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.